Everybody, good evening. It is Thursday evening after the election that occurred on Tuesday. I just wanted to come on for just a moment because I know a lot of you are waiting to see what my statement is going to be regarding the election results. So I want to come to you live, and I've got a dog at my feet if you're wondering what's going on. So I'm going to bring Aston up here with me. Yes. So hi, Aston. Say hi to everybody. Yes. He's like, oh, he's glad that he's got mommy here for a moment. Oh, there's Bentley. He's going to come and say hi too. So yes, here I am coming live with Aston and Bentley. I just want to thank you all who actually got out and voted for me, because there were so many of you, and to push me to just continue to fight for our city. And that's exactly what I anticipate to do. So I appreciate all of my friends, my neighbors, my volunteers. I'm very blessed to have a campaign that was made up of all unpaid volunteers and voluntold people, including my mother. So my voluntold people and my volunteers were made up of teachers, professors, investigators, financial advisors, firefighters, policemen, attorneys, wait staff, small business owners, and entrepreneurs. So I just wanted to say thanks to all of you who got out and did something for the campaign as a whole. And I want to tell you what we're going to do next. Okay, so that's what's going to occur in this video. So just hang with me for here just a moment. First of all, I wanted to thank all of my very special volunteers, including my husband, who even made up his own sign when we accidentally took we took the last sign, the last yard sign. It was actually sitting in my bathroom, and I'd totally forgotten that he was actually taking this sign with him when he would go to work at cafes, because he was going to cafes so that he could talk to people in Brickell that were at different buildings, so he could find out a lot of information for me about what was going on in buildings. So Boyd not only took his signs and went to cafes, but he also worked tirelessly making sure that our home ran while I ran for election. So I'm very grateful to have a wonderful husband that supports me in pretty much whatever I do. And I'm very grateful for that. So some of you may have even seen Boyd at Rosetta's in Brickell. He was out at Rosetta's, and just making sure he just sat out there and worked. He had a campaign sign when he was out there. He also made our door knocking volunteers dinners and lunches and different things as they needed them. And even took our fur babies out when I couldn't be here. These little guys. Yeah. Both of them in my lap right now. They're like conjoined twins at the very moment. So my mother sent out over 300 cards to our seniors who were very grateful to get a card. And she even handmade the majority of the cards. So thank you very much, Mom. And she put up with me for telling her to do quite a lot. And the rest of the campaign staff. So thank you very much, Mom. I know that you worked really, really hard, and she's really tired. She went for a massage yesterday. My neighbor Margie and her dog Toby tirelessly walked since I want to say it was May, when we first started campaigning, really started back hot and heavy when I knew I was going to run. Margie and Toby would go up and down Brickell Avenue. So thank you very much, Margie. You're absolutely amazing. And people are just going to miss you out campaigning. So you guys may have seen Margie and Toby going down up and down Brickell Avenue and South Miami Avenue. They would report any of the signs that needed to be replacing. And I had 𝐁𝐫𝐢𝐻𝐿. I was very happy to have 𝐁𝐫𝐿 as my general counsel throughout the campaign. He is absolutely amazing. He and his wife, Katrina. Katrina is an awesome door knocker. She looks so amazing. I actually need to post all the photos of all of us, even yesterday at the polling, not yesterday, sorry. You can tell my days are running together at the polling station. Sorry, everybody. I had an event, a couple of events that I had to get through the last couple of days, even after the election. So we had Trump in town and Vivek in town. And so I'm through with those events. So don't worry, I've not been sitting around crying or in bed. I apologize. I've not responded to your text. but I wanted to make sure that I thank my volunteers, and I'm going to save the best one for last. Okay. The one who worked the hardest for last. I think many of you know who that is, but I'm going to go on down the line. So Sylvia and Danielle from Rescue the Fosters, they are typically from the 501c3 Rescue the Fosters, but they spent some of their personal time with me because they know how much of my personal time I spend with their organization. So I thank you very much, ladies, for, helping me and fighting the good fight with the government gangsters here in Miami. And I also had the ability to have a political advisor, Kevin Trainer. Kevin, thank you so much for all of your advice that you've given throughout the entire campaign process, and putting up with us with messaging and everything. And throughout the campaign, we also had Danielle Holm, who served as our assistant campaign manager. She was absolutely amazing. So Danielle, you guys may have heard of when you emailed or text or called. Danielle was great at getting us appointments booked and everything. So thank you very much, Danielle. I appreciate everything that you did. And Doug and Haley Ross. So Doug and Haley, Doug is a veteran. They are retired. Haley is a former school teacher, and they work tirelessly door knocking at polls. So I thank you guys so very much for all that you did. And then Barbara Casanova. Barbara, I love you, and I thank you so much. I have not even words to say for how amazing Barbara is. She is diligent. She is on time. She is up every time. And I'd say she is the hardest working woman that I know. And she can even keep up with me. She says I'm the hardest working woman that she knows. And I say that she's the hardest working woman that I know. So Barbara, thank you very much. Thank you for your time, your energy. And thank you and your organization, Citizens First, for supporting me and gathering up all of the volunteers and everything. I really, really appreciate you guys. I could not have done it without you. Not only did Barbara endlessly give up her time, but she organized all of the press, a lot of the press bookings, the poll watching, the marketing communications she reviewed for me. I did a lot of the marketing communications myself. So if you didn't like them, you can blame me. There's a lot that we did. There's so very much. And I thank you all for your hard work. It's definitely not over yet, though. So I do want to say this. Sadly, the election results did not match what we were told when we were going out door knocking and the number of people that told us that they were going to be voting for me. So when those numbers don't match up, it is our due diligence that we have to actually inspect ballots. We should be, checking into things a little bit further because the numbers were so off. So I want to go over that a little bit. The numbers didn't match at all. So that part was a little shocking. It was very shocking for Barbara. I had worked on a lot of other campaigns in election integrity, just reviewing the technological aspect and the election processes. And so I was paying heavy attention to what was actually going on here. I've been paying attention to our processes for a very long time. I've written letters to our governor, to our secretary of elections, and multiple people in general. So I, had been paying attention to what was going on. And based on those numbers, I am, going to be reviewing the election processes, reviewing the ballots, inspecting those with the secretary of elections. And, I have too many emails, texts, and phone calls coming through, saying that they voted for me, and and a lot of people were surprised. So, I have to basically follow through with what is the law. So, and to be able to know, if the ballots are, indeed, if there are only 300 and I want to say there's I forget exactly the exact number that was marked for me, but it was nowhere near. We're talking about a quarter of the ballots that we were told. So, And a lot of buildings are, really surprised. So I'll be looking into that. I don't want to speculate too much on it until I actually see the ballots myself. But I will be looking into that, along with, requesting our Secretary of Elections and our governor also review. Obviously, everybody knows we have a huge lack of voter turnout. I shouldn't even say huge lack of, sorry guys, but we have so little voter turnout in District 2. I mean, 12% voter turnout, that is ridiculous. But I have figured out why we have such low voter turnout. It's because we have 3 elections to elect 6 people. So that's basically on an average of 2 people per election. And with a special election last February, we will have a total of 4 elections for 6 people, or for 6 seats, I should say, because we don't really know who's going to fill the District 2 seat. So, and that's not even including the runoffs. I mean, like we could end up having basically an election per person. So that's a lot of elections. So it does feel like it's a constant churn of elections. And so it could get a lot for the citizens because it's like an ongoing election. They don't really know when to vote, where to vote. People did not know that there was a polling location, like for instance on Brickell Key. A lot of the residents there were not aware that there was even a polling change with the gerrymandered map situation. That took a hard toll because we also saw Manolo Reyes's signs at Varick Park, whereas, it's like, the lines are very, very blurred. So let's just say that is just a couple of the issues among many that I found. So we will be investigating the process, which I have the right and we all have a civic obligation to investigate our own elections to make sure that it is a free and fair process and that all of our votes actually do count the way that we intend for them to count. So additionally, our city also does not do basic things. Oh, obviously Aston wants to come over and sit in my lap. So our city doesn't do basic things such as allow candidates to register for office, requiring an actual state ID with an address. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but our entire process from the time we sign up as a candidate is very skewed in terms of the lack of background checks, the lack of checking where candidates actually live. There is no background completed on that. So there are some issues that I'll be turning into the ethics, filing ethics complaints on a couple of issues there that actually do include those. The vague documents in various constitutions that are actually on the oath that's taken as a city candidate when a candidate actually signs up to run. And then there's monies for each of our elected officials that have so many similarities and alliances that connect to developers, third world countries, and even special interest groups that are associated with outright communists, that these are situations that definitely need to be looked into by our ethics board. And then furthermore, I have evidence that there could be some unethical interference from politicians, both in and out of our race. Being in technology, I was, as I said earlier, the first to actually write the governor on even our technological process within the election process, because it's very interesting, let's just say, that, and it could easily be interfered with because of just the way the machines are online, the entire process. And keep in mind, they have a total of about 10 days with early voting and everything that occurs to actually go in and actually fix votes, increase votes, decrease votes. So me looking at the ballots will actually, resolve my peace of mind with all of this. So I'll definitely report back to you on what I find, because per the poll managers, the machines are constantly streaming data online. They did confirm this with me. The technological interference has been a big part of my research for the past 4 years. So I will definitely be making sure the number of ballots that we had matched the number of votes that they say actually came in on election day. And also be making sure the USB stick that comes out of the machines also matches what we show technology wise. So that can be an easy one as long as they give me access to that. Some of the counties have withheld access to it, even though we're supposed to be required to view it. Additionally, my team and I also found several statutory discrepancies, what we believe are statutory discrepancies in the election process, plus ethics violations from Sabina Kovo's campaign, along with Damian Pardo's campaign, and even other candidates in the race. So I do plan to file an ethics violation on all of those. So that will be made available on my website so that you all can be aware of that as well. For those of you who have not figured out that I am very transparent, I'm like an open book. I want to make sure that you guys have the information that I also have. So if you have not already signed up on my website, please be sure to sign up on the website and register so that we can stay in touch. And I'll make sure to email you all of that information directly to your inbox. And I want to leave you with a last message that this fight is not over. I will continue to fight for the truth and transparency in our government, because without that, we will never be free. We are not free, and we are definitely not free from the government gangsters until they are stopped. So you have my word. I will not stop investigating and reviewing things that people send to me. And I will definitely be checking out the entire election process. So I hope that you appreciate that. And if you have an opportunity, please make sure that you go on to Christi for Miami on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and I will make sure to publish a lot of the photos from the last few days and my meeting photos. So I've not been sitting around moping, I assure you. I've actually been super busy starting on November the 8th, directly after we had President Trump and the debate. The Republican GOP debate was in town. So I was very busy during that process, along with today's meetings for after debate with Vivek and several other people. So I have a lot of photos to post. So I think that you guys will really enjoy those as well. So don't worry, I am not stopping fighting for us. And for those of you not aware, I actually do have a couple of other blogs that you may want to follow. One is patriotsperspective.com. And that blog is kind of gone unpublished. There's not been a lot of blogs published in the last couple of weeks. Considering I've had a lot to do with the campaign itself, and have been, focusing on Christi for Miami, doing the investigations and things there, along with my volunteer team who helped me. There's one other person I want to thank, and I've thanked her many times on different platforms. And it's not that she was a volunteer for me, because this is just a person that helps us out in the community as a whole with all of the campaign finance reports. And that is Danny Riviera. She is Miami Seda on Twitter. So if you guys don't already follow her, I highly recommend that you follow at Miami Seda on Twitter, because she breaks down the campaign finance reports and she will answer your questions. So if you guys have questions if you want to know specific things, you can simply make a donation to her, and she will, pull together information for you. She's very knowledgeable, very, very smart. And so I highly recommend that you follow her. So thank you all for just your time, your energy. And again, my volunteers are the absolute best. I'll be making individual posts with photos and fun times that we've had together. And the fun will continue. I promise you guys. We have a lot more in store than even what I'm saying here. And the activism is not going to stop on me either way. Matter of fact, I feel really sorry for anyone who goes into office thinking that they're going to be able to get anything corrupt by us, because it's not going to happen. You have a great set of eyes on the office as a whole and on our government. And I'm not backing down, and I'm certainly not backing down from government gangsters as a whole. So I thank you so very much. Yes, Mom, thank you. Oh, the volunteers were amazing. Yes, they were. Mom, thank you for all of the work that you did and just monitoring social media and everything for us too. That was amazing. So we'll continue to expose a lot. Matter of fact, make sure that you are going to christi4miami.com, because I do have some things to release regarding not only the election process, so you guys will see that directly, along with videos and things like that. So that way you'll understand how our election process it actually occurs. And you can also see some of the information along with the ethics complaints and the violations and anything else that I am also putting together for investigators, because guys, it is very hard to believe what some of these government gangsters are doing. So, oh yeah, now we have a lot more time to watch their actions. You're right, Mom. That is the truth. I said that earlier. Yes, Mom, you are absolutely 100% correct. So yes. And I will let you guys know what I do find out regarding the election. So if you have any questions, does anybody have any questions? Okay, I see a couple people. It looks like I didn't announce that I was going to go live, but I just wanted to make sure there was a recorded statement, and I wanted you guys to get that up. I'll also post I did write, a statement. So I'll publish that on the blog. So if you prefer reading it, you can, and I'll embed this video so you can see it down below. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit more in the video than actually written, but thank you guys so very much for just your time, your hard work, and your votes. I really appreciate those of you who have messaged me saying, I voted for you, here's the ballot number, because I have said over and over and over again to please make sure that when you do go vote, that you actually take a photograph of your ballot, the inside of the inside ballot, because they do have numerical numbers on them. And our Secretary of Elections, believe it or not, it appears to me that she knows exactly, or when I say she, our technology, and I know I'm like, this actually makes me scratch my head to think that people don't know that there's a little barcode that comes on everything. And so they do know who we're voting for. I mean, I hate to say this, but it appears they do know who we're voting for. And I will confirm that with you as well, because, there's a little slip that you go through to get when you're voting that gets scanned before your ballot goes in, and then the ballot is read. So trust me, they know exactly who you're voting for. Whoever has access to that data knows exactly who you're voting for. They may try to split the data afterwards, but that is also, a way that we'll have the ability to know who all has voted in person. So we'll be spot checking and auditing that. So if you guys do get a text message poll asking specific questions from either me or Citizens First or other organizations, I hope that you guys will answer truthfully so that we can just better have a better understanding of who actually did, get votes, so that we're not questioning something that doesn't exist. So, and most of that is going to be making sure that, if you did request a mail-in ballot, that you actually got your mail-in ballot, that you turned it in, because if we're messaging you, asking you, it's most likely because they're saying that the mail-in ballot is turned in. So hopefully all of that makes sense. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to drop me a line, an email, a text, a comment, and I'll be sure to take a look. My mom said she loves sending all the handwritten cards to seniors. She prayed each one was received as she addressed them. And thank you very much, Mom, for doing that. They looked fantastic. If you haven't gone to my mom's social media to see the cards, she would have stacks of cards that she sent out to our seniors. That was amazing. So, and it looks like maybe some of our fire department and our police actually picked up their ballots. So hopefully, that process and everything went smoothly. So we'll find out, what actually occurred with the senior center pickups as well, because that's another question that I have. If there were ballots picked up at the senior centers, how things like that were recorded, and was it by statute? So anyway, I hope that you guys are all having a blessed evening. I'm going to be posting a lot from different meetings that I've attended and conferences and things for the last 2 days. And I'm going to try to get some sleep tonight. Everybody's asking, did you get some sleep? How are you? How are things? Well, I've not had any opportunity to really get any sleep yet. So that's what I'm going to do. So if I sound a little hoarse, it's because I've been talking a lot, and I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning. Was at an event by 7 this morning. So I hope that all of you had a blessed day. God bless you all. And again, we won't stop until the government gangsters are stopped.